Kev G, weather overview. Good evening. We're not looking at the good weather today. We're gonna look at possible storm for next week. The next few days through Sunday look absolutely gorgeous. If you like today, you're gonna like the next few days. It got very chilly this morning though. Lots of 40s and 30s around, and you could see that again a couple more times this week. But we're going to be looking at a possible East Coast storm for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it will develop. The question is, where does it go? And I'll show you why it's not going to be a blockbuster storm. So we'll take a look at the surface observations right now. We have a big high pressure system anchored over the northeast. It's going to give us gorgeous weather through Sunday, and there's a possibility that the gorgeousness stays around for longer than that, but the influence of this storm will probably make the weather at least a little bit murky. Now, if you notice by Sunday, here's the weather map off of NOAA. It shows a low pressure system developing off the South Atlantic coast, and the eventual path is going to be the problem here. When we look at one of the scenarios, it takes the storm, the high pressure that's dominating our weather now blocks the storm from retreating. It pushes it towards the coast, and we get a prolonged period of heavy rain and high winds. And I don't think the coastal flooding will be that bad, and I'll show you why in a second. And then the other scenario would be that the storm does not get blocked as much, and it is able to escape out to sea, and this is the scenario I favor right now. In this scenario, we still would get pretty murky weather with some onshore flow, easterly winds, cloudy conditions, and the surfers will love it. Either way you slice it down the road for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but this is the scenario I favor right now. Again, it's my opinion, but we'll have to stay tuned. Definitely do not write this off. Let's take a look at the European model. This is the heavyweight guru European model, and it is showing a formidable storm on our coast. That would be the inside runner scenario. And here's the GFS, and you wonder why weathermen look foolish sometimes. This storm is well out to sea on this prediction from the GFS, but these models run 2 or 3 times a day. There's going to be it's a tough pattern and a tough situation, so there's going to be some changes about. Over the next few days, though, the temperatures are just great. Low 70s, chilly nights. Bring the jacket in the morning. If you've been loving the last few days, like I said, you will love the next few through Sunday at least. I think most of the weekend is dry, if not all of it. But as we get towards Monday, definitely clouding over, and then we'll have to see what that storm wants to do. Now, with respect to the coastal flooding, I know people are very anxious when they see coastal storms now try to develop after what happened with Sandy last year. But if you notice on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, this is the moon phases for the month, and we are entering a period where the tides are not as high, and that will definitely help us if, in fact, a coastal storm does develop in our waters and hangs around. So even the worst-case scenario would give us some coastal flooding, and the vulnerable areas are always going to be vulnerable, unfortunately. But in terms of anything catastrophic or a blockbuster storm, I don't see it, simply because of the moon phase, and that's what made Hurricane Sandy so bad last year. It wasn't just the intensity of the storm, but it was the unfortunate coincidence of the high tides in conjunction with the highest winds. So we'll keep on it and stay tuned, and more updates to come. Frequent updates on blogspot.com. Terrifically talented tweets on Twitter. Kev Storm, NYC.